G'day, it's Rob here again. Well, today we're going to have a look at some Involute gear cutters that Banggood have sent me to check over. And these are module 1, 20-degree pressure angle with a 22mm centre. And they're the same as some Involute gear cutters I've used previously to change gears. That module and that pressure angle are what most small Chinese metal lathes use, very common. Your 9x20s will have it, and your 7x12s and 14s will have it. So if you want to cut another change gear to, try and lower the feed speed or replace the gear that's broken, this is what you want. Banggood sell a whole range of modules, various pressure angles, and it works out pretty cheap, really. I mean, a set of 8 works out at $10 each, including postage, which is pretty good. Here's some screen grabs of the deal. Okay, now if you buy them singularly, it works out at $18 each, so it's a lot more expensive to buy just 1 or 2 than the whole set per cutter. But of course, depends how many you need, and I've only ever had 2, and a number 5 and I think a number 7 did what I wanted. But it's a matter of what size gear you want, and whether you want to spend $80 or whether you want to just buy a couple and spend, $40, so make up your own mind on that. Now, these are high-speed steel, and they basically are the alternative, the most common alternative to using a single-point gear cutter. So let's have a look at the 2 forms of cutter, and you can just see what we're dealing with. Here we have a single-point cutter. It's just shaped to the gully between the teeth on a gear, and it goes around, and each revolution it takes a bite out of the gear blank. Now this isn't the actual cutter tip I would use. This is just a general purpose one. I can't find the module 1 cutter tip that I used to use. It's been so long since I've used a single point cutter, because really Involute gear cutters are so much better, and they're so cheap these days. There's really, if you want to go this way, I think it's like drawing teeth compared to using an Involute, because this will go around and do 1 cut per revolution. An Involute gear cutter, that's an Involute gear cutter, that will do 14 cuts per revolution. There are 14 teeth. They're correctly profiled. When you grind your own tips, it takes a bit of trickery to get them dead accurate. You can do a good job, but you can't beat the ones that are ground straight out of the box. And as I said, this will be 14 times faster than this. It'll also be perfectly symmetrical. This is obviously imbalanced because you've got this hanging out. And so this will cut faster, smoother, and do a better job. And considering the amount of money involved, it's bugger all, really. Of course, you have to mount that on an arbor, and here it is mounted on an arbor. That's how it works. And you can either make your own arbor, which I've done. They're very easy, simple to make, or you can buy one. This is a standard 22mm centre, and these are the 2 Involute cutters that I bought. It's a 5 and a 7. I bought years ago to cut gears, and I got them from an online company that sold them. I think at the time, I think I might have paid about $15 each for them. I can't remember, but that was a long time ago. All right, moving on. Here's a factory gear. Here's a factory gear that's been reworked, and it was bigger and the teeth got chipped off. And I just reduced the diameter and made a smaller gear out of it. And so that was done with an Involute gear cutter. And here's one I made from scratch out of brass using a single point cutter. And as you can see, you know, they all do the job, they all do a good job. A little bit more rounded on this one, on the teeth profile, but all good. So that's all there is to it, you know. You can go single point, you can go Involute gear cutter, and at the end of the day, if you do it all properly, you'll get the same result, no problem whatsoever. So let's have a look at these Banggood Involute cutters and see how they compare to my older ones that I bought years ago. Okay, so we'll do a direct compare between my original number 5 and number 7 to the Banggood number 5 and number 7. I'm not going to cut any gears because it's pointless. You've seen it in my other gear cutting videos. They're high-speed steel, and it's a matter of how well they're made, machined up, that counts. You know, we'll do some measurements, check them for run out, and compare the profiles, and we'll leave it at that. But that will be good enough, I think, for this exercise. All right, I'll take them out their paper packets and we'll have a good look at them. They come wrapped in grease-proof paper, and yeah, that's what you would expect to find. So I'll take them out. So you can see straight away that they look pretty damn well made. There's certainly the same sort of finish on the profile as there is on the other set I've got. And if we were to put them on top of one another, you'd think they came out the same factory, wouldn't you? Looking closely at these, you can see that this has actually got much better etching on it. The marking degree, pressure angle, number of teeth 26 to 34, number of teeth 55 to 134. So yeah, these are obviously made in different places. This isn't as nicely done. These are the old ones I've been using for a long time. And if you look at all the machining on it, looks first class, really. Really, really good. The centre size is right on the money, 22.02. So no problems there. That one's the same. They're perfect. Yeah. Can't do any better than that. Let's have some close-up comparisons of the profiles to see how they compare between the older ones that I've got from another supplier and the Banggood ones. We'll also look at the difference in profiles between a number 1 and a number 8. And number 7, the old one, and number 7 Banggood. You can see that the Banggood teeth are actually thicker, deeper. Not that it's going to make a lot of difference really, but certainly there's nothing lacking with the Banggood cutters whatsoever. The finish is superb. I'd have no hesitation in recommending these whatsoever. You couldn't do any better. And they're very sharp, and the same as my old ones, they're sharp too, even though they've done a lot of work. But no difference. So, you know, particularly with the sort of work most people would use these for, which would be aluminium, brass, cast iron, these will definitely do the job. I've never ever tried these on steel because my rig isn't heavy enough, and you would need a cooling system, constant cooling system, to cut teeth on steel blanks. But I have done bronze. I've done bronze, no problem whatsoever. So yeah, these will certainly do the job, and yeah, it's the way to go. And the last thing to check is run out. Here's the number 7. Looks pretty good to me. And here's number 5. Yep, no problem whatsoever, as expected. Well, there you have it. First class product in my opinion, and yeah, really nice. Certainly way better than trying to do it with a single point cutter. You know, for the money it's just not worth the effort, and you'll never get the, I don't think you'll get as good a finish. You can come pretty close though. But the beauty of these is they put a lot less load on your lathe or your mill. You know, they're symmetrical, and yeah, it's single point cutters, particularly on harder metals, really hammer the hell out of your machinery, and I just, yeah, I don't like it. So these are a lot kinder to your machinery, and they do a good job. The link to the webpage on this is in the video description, and you can go there and check out what they've got. There's also a link to other modules they've got. They've got a big range of this stuff. So that's all I can do for now. Yeah, hope you got something out of that. We'll see you next time. Cheers.